Hello, all of you wonderful people on the internet. All of you goblins, halflings, orcs, and otherwise. I'm me. You probably have never met me, but hello. It's nice to meet you on this video that is probably popped up on your stream or otherwise. Um, yes. Hello. I should probably get into the reasons on why I am doing this video, and hopefully you haven't clicked away by now. If you haven't, thank you so much. So, for those of you who don't know, I like writing things. I like writing stories. I like reading stories. So, in a half sleep drunken state about 2 years ago, I was like, you know what? I'm part of a D&D campaign. I like to write. I like reading stories. I'm gonna try to chronicle what happens in this campaign. And here we are. 22 chapters later of a lot of things happening. So I thought it would be a really fun endeavor to try to, well, okay. A fun endeavor to keep myself honest in terms of keeping writing the thing, and also try to make some kind of time capsule or inspirational little vlog thing to say, hey, if you want to write a story and are not quite sure on how to do that, maybe you find this video, we go through it together. Obviously this is going to be more of my process and what goes on in my brain, but hopefully something stands out to you and you're like, oh hey, this is a cool thing, let me try to apply that to my writing. And also, if you've been waiting for a sign to get to writing your story, here you go, here's your sign. Yeah. So, with that little introduction aside, this story is about a D&D campaign that I am a part of that I absolutely love, as I've said before. But it's kind of nested within a different overarching story, and basically it's just about two bards going around from place to place where the adventuring party that my character is a part of, and exploring those areas, the older bard, which is Sylvie, this one, ta-da, tells Mickey, the younger bard, ta-da, oh no, the cat is on my keyboard. The cat is very helpful. I think that should stay in there. There we go. Alright. Anyway, Mickey, the younger bard, is trying to collect these stories. Sylvie is telling her the stories, and things happen. So, usually, when I start writing a chapter, I will have specific ideas or thoughts, or like, they go to Wherein, all this good stuff, or specific lines that I've thought of that seem applicable in that situation. I just put the cat down. She was asking to go down. But it's just kind of like getting ideas, getting scenes out, like this kind of thing. Just getting anything and everything that is part of this chapter down so that I have it. And I figured I would just kind of go through and, I don't know, explain my thought process, try to type some things out, and, it's like a, I don't know, 15-minute writing session, 20 minutes, so here we go. So in the last chapter, Mickey and Sylvie, these people, go through this foresty mountainous area. They come to this ravine, and there's this river that's going through the ravine, and at the end of said river is this town of Wherein. Wherein. And so they're going to this place because the three adventurers that Mickey is gathering stories for, the D&D campaign party, went to in order to solve another mystery. Another thing I should probably mention, just as a little aside, is that we, the campaign people, have been using a handy-dandy little module book called Candlekeep Mysteries. It is a D&D book, or Dungeons and Dragons, and the adventures are based off of the modules in there. I figure I'm using this video as creative license and learning license, whatever that is. Wizards, please don't sue me. It's a fan fiction thing. Um, so, yeah. So this adventure specifically is a deep and creeping darkness. It's very unnerving, but we get to do the pre-chapter before that. So, here we go. So far we have kind of the setting place in each of these chapters. Setting is very important because the different adventures take place different places, and what's cool about the Candlekeep module book is that they have a very, like, the settings feel like they have character and a place, and there's this sense of environment, right? So I'm definitely trying to capture kind of that feeling of, oh, here's a spooky marsh and the trees are wailing in the wind kind of vibes. Mayrin specifically is a little bit more of a like a rest stop sort of town right before you get to this big mining town, which is Vermelin. Verdant melon. So it's trying to capture some of that vibe of setting and place. So that's usually what I start with for the pre-chapters. So that's all of this good stuff and like this sort of thing. For those of you who are curious, these three, Lester, Faye, and Yuri, are the three adventurers. Yuri's full name is Eurydice. Lester, Mifa, Mifa, Lester, whatever combination of those. And Faye, her name is so long that our Roll20 program cannot load it anymore. So, her name is Faye. So I don't have to type all of that and get early tendonitis and carpal tunnel. So, yeah, that's kind of all the context, and at this point, I'm just gonna talk to myself, and hopefully something stands out to you. If you have any questions in later videos as well, feel free to comment below, and, you know, who knows? I'll answer them. Yeah, so right now, this is definitely more of a developmental edit, which is brainstorming, getting ideas down, making sure that those main plot points are there. And really with this chapter, it's just, Sylvie, this one, goes to a place, says hi to people, and the place is introduced to Mickey, who's the younger one. So, here we go. Alright, I have a cat, I have my water. The other cat is now on my lap, she is keeping me warm. Hello. Hello, little girl. Cool. So, let's get to writing. Wherein is quite beautiful, isn't it? In a kind of rustic, stone-on-earth sort of way, but it's nice. Something about Sylvie saying that. Something about Sylvie saying that. Another thing that I will sometimes do that I find helpful, and you might also find helpful, is I will read out loud specific character lines to see if they would actually say that and kind of like figure out a little bit more, like, here's the dialogue that, like, the dialogue points I would like to communicate, but how would this person actually say it? And specifically with stuff like that, Sylvie, meanders a lot. this Sylvie specifically is a boy, which is always exciting. But he's prone to using a lot of extra kind of fluff words. So with editing things, an editor might suggest in a kind of rustic sort of way or like an ancient kind of way. I'm like, this right here feels like an appropriate level of meandering to me, and so that's something to know about your characters as well. This particular example is not like super meandering, but it the point is characters interesting characters have different ways of talking, and I think you should be able to determine who is talking solely based off of dialogue. Like, we should not have, like, Sylvie said or Sylvie muttered or whatever it is that Sylvie is doing at that moment to know that Sylvie is talking. So, that's just something to keep in mind with how characters talk, because everybody talks differently, right? So, I'm shrugging, it's. There you go. And, that also goes for actions as well. Just to, like, throw that one out there. Yeah, people have different ways that they're gonna do different things. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, right, right. So, right now, I'm kind of going over what my notes are. Sylvie go, wow. So, Sylvie and Mickey go to Marin first, which is connected to Verdant Melon to see the mining operations and the people that these three, the party, met eventually. Those three actually met everyone at Marin first. So, and then there were ideas about having these jury rig systems to transport platinum ore between the two towns, because so Vermelon is a platinum mining town that is very close by to Marin, and there were ideas about how to get the platinum ore between the two places and like how that would go down. That is to help with world building a little bit, to show that some of these places in the Forgotten Realms / Faerun, I need to double check everything on that, but to show that they're a little bit what we would consider in the first world country here, developed, industrial, all that good stuff. And then there's specific examples on how to display that. The smithy idea I actually quite like. So there's an idea there about how maybe the two bards actually go to the smithy, like the blacksmith, to get better armor or better gear. So I'm gonna actually type that. Do Mickey and Sylvie get better gear from the smithy? And then, like, what kind of gear could they get? A rapier, maybe, for one of them? I guess actually either of them, technically. But specifically Sylvia's who I was thinking. And then, like, how would that rapier look? Is it adorned? Is it a magical enchanted thing? Is it a magical enchanted thing? The answer is that it would not be, because Sylvie can just do that. Enchanted. Yeah, just stuff like that. And it would be up to you to determine, like, what it is that your characters can and can't do, and we go based off of that. I was gonna put down armor as well, because, like, these people are the equivalent of something or rather. Armor? Yeah, just stuff like that. Maybe Nikki gets a magical item. That would that would be really funny, actually. Gets a magic item. So, just stuff like that. Lucas's place, Lucas is spelled incorrectly, there we go, is more ornate and fancy than last time Sylvie was there, to show time has passed between the last time that Sylvie was there and now. And Lucas's place is called the Bored Weasel. So, in looking at the module book, which is, again, the book that I'm kind of basing all of this on, or at least using it as kind of a stepping stone, the book says that Lucas is 95. And he's a human. Humans in D&D live up to like 120 if they're really, really lucky. So, we're just gonna put like, is Lucas actually that word? I don't know if YouTube is gonna like censor that, and I do plan on posting this to YouTube, so he's 95 in book. So obviously that is going to affect some things. If Lucas is no longer with us, then all of this, the hi there Lucas, all of this good stuff, you know, that might not happen. We'll have to figure that one out. But, you know, stuff like that where all of the ideas are here, we can go through them and see what speaks to us. And so this part actually is speaking to me in terms of writing stuff. So let's go. That needs to be indented. Oh, you might know about this. And then that, and then something like, I don't know. Also, another thing I feel like I should mention, just really quick, a lot of the authors that I've had the pleasure of talking to relate a first draft of a book to, and like seeing a first draft of a book, to seeing the draft of the book. I'm gonna put a counter on how many times I say a first draft of a book now. I think that's 4. But to seeing that draft of the book in its underwear. So this is very much a like underwear level of what's going on here. It is not completed. It's just getting ideas down. For those of you who are perfectionists out there, the first draft of anything is going to be terrible. That is not to discourage you. It's literally just like, get everything down. You know, you can parse through it, you can take out what you like, and it is a lot of work, but, you know, you get something like, not this, eventually. Yeah. This is the base outline for the next part, the next adventure, and this is the one that I fear to write. This was the campaign, the session where I was like, oh no. So, we'll get there, but, so I just thought I would mention that. You know, it's all good. We're just getting ideas out here, And this is already mentioned up here. That was my original line of Mickey opens the book. But now she brushed past the entries that Sylvie had already explained, turning to a hidden gem of the tiny notebook. There, within its pages, lay a small white flower. That whole thing. So we can take this and get rid of it. And what I like to do is put any lines that I know I'm not gonna use, but like were instrumental in figuring out how to flip to write this, into what I like to call the exits. It is the graveyard of lines, and it shall be respected as such. But it's just a place to put down the ideas, to put down things that I don't need anymore, or if there's a line that I have changed, then there you go. It goes there now. So, going back up here. Oh, I do remember that one. What an odd character. Energetic, lively, and, well, I got the feeling that the alchemist was deeply troubled by something. I couldn't tell you what, but something about their eyes and how they moved. I haven't had a pre-established voice for Mickey yet, so here we go. I thought Maeve Lester wouldn't let anyone see their eyes. That was... We'll figure it out. Exactly. Only someone who doesn't want to truly be seen would hide away the one thing that would connect them to others. He turned to Sylvie. You seem to know what I'm talking about. Sylvie gazed at him. Oh boy. That gets to be edited at some point. I have an idea, yes. Eyes being the window to the soul and all. Yes, precisely. Haha, haha. Yeah. Haha, yeah. So that actually all reads pretty, sequential to me. I will edit this later. But it's just about getting the ideas down, getting kind of an idea of what's going on. And this all kind of goes together, I think, those ideas and thoughts, and then this was a completely different thing. This is at the end of the chapter. Are you afraid of the dark? Yeah. And so after this, it would be kind of just a... They leave. Going to Vermelion. Oh no, I'm getting the names confused again. Okay, Vermelin. There we go. Anytime there's Vernelian, I actually do mean Vermelin, as kind of a side note there. You know, that is closer. Oh boy. Yeah. So we are approaching about 25 minutes actually. So I should probably end the video here, but I hope this gave a look into how you could, or I could, we could start getting some ideas down on a piece of paper, some thoughts and ideas on dialogue. Hopefully this helped out. If you like it, stay tuned. You know, I plan to do many more of these, and just as kind of like a, hey, I'm working on the thing. But, you know, sometimes it helps just to be able to work alongside someone. So, you know, break out your book idea. Like, let's get writing. Your stories are important. And especially with NaNoWriMo coming up, it's a National Novel Writing Month. I would like to challenge each and every one of you to bring out that story that maybe you've been putting off because you don't feel like, you can write it quite yet. But you know what? You can. Actually, one of the themes of this story is the feeling of not feeling like you're good enough and doing the thing anyway. Honestly, with writing this, I don't feel like I'm. It's weird. It's this feeling of like I know I can string words together, but like, is that good enough? And at a certain point, yeah, it is. So, this story is definitely about like believing that we are good enough to tackle that thing that maybe we don't feel like we're brave enough or good enough to try, but by trying, we prove to ourselves that we are good enough. So, hopefully, any of this inspires you to do the thing. Go on, go do the thing. Start chapter 1, get some lines down. Start on chapter like 35, Just go for it. Anyway, hopefully all, even if none of it's helpful, hopefully it inspires you to go out and live today. So, take care, be safe out there, be kind to yourself, and from this random stranger on the internet to you, you're important. Your voice is important. And I love you. Take care, yo.